absurd seems completely sane.
What's up? Before I have a nervous breakdown, I figured I better make a video. Happy New Year, everybody. Hopefully it was safe and sound and you had a great time. Apparently I'm immune now to Patron Silver. I throw a party in my house every year. Everybody comes over, they bring their kids. We throw the kids down in the basement. Everybody's having a great time down there. The adults are getting drunk upstairs. I must have been eating way too much because I did 15 shots of Patron Silver from probably, I don't know, maybe 7 o'clock till 11:30. I guess it's a lot of space in between there and food. But normally, and I'm feeling them going down. I just didn't catch a buzz all night. I guess when it's your party, you just don't catch a buzz. But normally I'm just lit and I don't know. So, like I said, we've been friends now since '07 making these videos. And I think I tell you every year, just bet against the Jets. And there's one thing that's constant. Now, you can't walk into a casino and think you're going to go to a roulette table and you see 6 blacks in a row and you bet red thinking that's got to come up red sooner or later, right? You'll go broke. You go to a blackjack table, you think you're going to keep doubling your bet and eventually you're going to win a hand. No. But the one thing that is constant is that the Jets will eventually lose a game. And eventually at the end of the year, they will lose their final game. Because I know for a fact that the Jets are under a curse called the Namath Curse. The reason the Jets even won that one Super Bowl, people, was because that Joe Namath sold his soul and the souls of the Jet franchise to the devil. So the only chance the Jets have ever is when Joe Namath is dead. Or maybe I have to die. Because there is nothing like being tortured. Other than maybe being a Mets fan or a Cubs fan, there can't be anything worse than being a Jets fan. Because just when they give you that hope, just when they bring it you to that point where you want to believe and you're thinking, hey, things actually are looking good. If we can make the playoffs, we could actually win the Super Bowl. I actually thought that. Oh my God, I'm looking at this team. I'm like, we could score on anybody and we got a pretty good defense. What more do we need in this watered down shit fest of a fucking sport the NFL has turned into, where what is a catch? Nobody even knows what a catch is. There's a hold on every call. It's the most fixed sport in the world. Don't get me started. Or I already did get started. The bottom line is you can't lose money betting against the Jets. You're not going to go 0-16. They're never going to win 16 games in a row. Whether or not you're playing the spread or the money line is another thing. But the only thing that ruined yesterday's action, because asshole that I thought, I was like, you know what? Considering New England's been bugging me for the last 15 years, I might as well make some money off them. So I put them in a huge monster teaser with Buffalo and Pittsburgh. You had to know the Jets weren't winning that game by, if they were going to win, they weren't going to win by more than 13.5. I mean, come on, people. Plus I had, obviously I took Buffalo on the money line. I took Buffalo in the first half. I took Buffalo in the second half. I took Buffalo to win the game, and I took Buffalo with the points. But the real money, the big money, I thought was the easy money, was that triple freaking teaser. Putting 10 points, all New England had to do was beat Miami, and they ruined the whole weekend. So not only did my fucking team get excommunicated from the playoffs in the most disgusting fashion, I mean, you can't script it any more disgusting than the way they went out. I mean, come on. I mean, if you guys have been sitting there. Now, again, to me, it's really, for you guys, it's all about the money. You have no emotional attachment to the Jets. As a fan, I'm letting you know. This is what I say every year. Bet against the Jets. You don't need trading. So let's get to trading. So there's one screen there. There's another screen there. You'll notice that there's no computers here anymore. So while the market's crashing, not only does the market crash, but my entire system starts to blow up. Thank you. I want to just give a nice thanks to the guy that. So first of all, okay, my computer that I was using I should have bought a new one prior to the last couple of weeks because I could feel it was on the fritz. So I ran out and I bought a new computer. Okay, so then there was a software program that I use on my website to stream the live chat room, right? Next thing you know, this thing doesn't work. So I'm on with tech support for 3 days trying to figure this shit out. Uninstalling Flash, installing Flash, Adobe this, Adobe that, Java this, Java that. Fucking take a Java and shove it up your ass. Next thing you know, the thing's finally working for a good 15 minutes, and then I'm getting pop-ups. I haven't had pop-ups coming up on my computer in gotta be 3 or 4 years. Pop-ups everywhere asking me to do internet security, blah, McAfee, is your computer running slow? Yeah, I guess it is now because some asshole just put a virus on it. I want to appreciate you. Tech support, well played, good job. Whatever the hell you did, you made my computer work for 10 minutes and now the whole thing is completely busted because there's shit running through it right now that I don't even want to even tamper with. So now I'm out 2 computers in a matter of 2 days. Fantastic stuff. So not only do I walk into a shit show bloodbath where I was shorting it started so innocently. I was like, oh, look at the NASDAQ futures. I can't believe they're actually might be going red here. You know, at 8:20 last night, okay, you know, you got to remember, 2 weeks ago I said the market would never go down into the end of the year. We went down the last 2 days, and I said I would almost guarantee that we were going to gap up barring any incident, and we got an incident. This is why you can't make predictions. But what you can do is when you get a market like this, knowing that the UVXY is the biggest piece of shit on the planet, you just wait for that thing to collapse, and next thing you know, it's dropping 5 points at the end of the day like nothing. Like it's, are you still thinking that this is a real stock? Are you still thinking that, oh yeah, if the market goes down, no. Even when the market gets hammered, by the end of the day, this thing gives up half the move. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow? Unless the market goes down now twice as much as it did today, this thing's not even going to be up tomorrow. That's what this thing is all about. It's a shorting vehicle. It's good to trade intraday. Maybe sometimes it has a 3-day rally, but over time it'll always go down. Anyway, I don't give a shit. The point is, there's no reason. And what do you think what's going to happen tomorrow? What about the UVXY? Should we bet the FEFY? How about the Qs? No. None of that. You don't need any of it. All you need. The only thing that worked today, and what was the most amazing part about it is, I'm always talking about VWAP reversals. Every single one worked. In a market that was a bloodbath, every single one worked. Guess what was the first one today? GoPro. Really? GoPro? Then FEYE. 2 of the most shittiest stocks I could think of. Then what do you have after that? You had Fitbit breaking over that 2880 level. Goes to 30. Next thing you know, solar is becoming strong. SUNE, SCTY. We had 18 reversals that all worked in a market that still wound up being down 240 points, 250 points. Right? Come over. Tell them. That's right. So, while I'm trying to trade, and again, I'm not very active, but on these kind of days, I want to be active. I want to get involved in some stuff. And I put the position on and get 1,000 shares of Solar City. I'm already feeling like I'm chasing this thing when I'm buying it here at $50.80 like a fucking retard. I'm thinking, all right, if it breaks 50.80, maybe it gets to 51. If it breaks 51.10, this thing's got a chance to go green. I'm going to make some loot. Next thing you know, my computer stops working. I turn the computer back on. I finally got working again. Thankfully, the stock's sort of where it was, so I immediately sell it. Next thing you know, it goes up 2 points. So then I start buying some other shit. Next thing you know, the computer starts getting frozen again. So as soon as it got unfrozen, I just hit on my positions. I mean, if it wasn't for, and like this is the moral of today's program. Remember what's important in your life. Your kids, your family, and to making sure that everybody's healthy and trying to stay sane. And I appreciate every day that I have, I know kids, I know families with autistic kids, and I know my brother's friend, he gets an aneurysm in his leg. It travels to his lungs. He loses consciousness and falls down a flight of stairs and breaks his neck, and he's dead. He's dead. The kid's 41 years old. We were partying like rock stars 6 years ago at our shore house, and now this kid's dead. I mean, really. And I'm sitting here crying that my website doesn't work, and then I missed a couple of $1,000 worth of trades. So, I mean, this is that moment where I have to say, yeah, it sucks being a Jets fan. It sucks that I didn't make any money today. I mean, I tell you, I'm not going to bullshit you. We had 18 trades that worked, but I did it on such a small scale, and then at the end of the day, trying to get in and out, my computer crashing. By the end of the day, I think I was down $11. I mean, it was pathetic. I'm not going to bullshit you. This was one of the most awful days I've had. Gotta be in like 7 years. Absolutely insane how every time I was in a trade, the computer would freeze. And then it would come out of freeze and I would just sell it. I'm like, I shouldn't be trading anymore. And then I'd see something that was working, then I'd put it on, and then my computer would freeze again. It was unbelievable. And people say, if you're paranoid that people are out to get you, you're not paranoid if it's true. Something was up. Something was up. Somebody was out to get me today. The computer was working fine until I actually put a trade on. And then next thing you know, I get this little spinning thing and the mouse wouldn't move. I go to Task Manager and the whole fucking thing's freezing up. And next thing you know, I get Windows needs to start, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. It's unbelievable. And then pop-ups. I got a new taskbar, a new window. I didn't even know what this window. I don't even know what it was. It was a new search engine. It just installed itself on my computer. It was fantastic. So I spent 3 or 4 hours just trying to figure out what the hell is going on with my computer. And at that point, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to be trading. And next thing you know, we have the greatest move of the day. At the end of the day, when I finally said, fuck this day. And that's another point. It was as if the Matrix said, oh, did he just say he's done for the day? Let's rally the shit out of this market just like he was waiting for the whole day. Asshole. So that's the kind of day it was today. And the sick thing is, in those brief moments where I did have a computer that was working, what did I drop on you guys? Fitbit, Solar City, ATI, even Rig and US Steel made you guys some money. So it was an extraordinary day. I know my buddy Mark did well. I know my buddy Gator did well. Paul did well. Dave did well. Phil did well. Felipe did well. Because you guys were following my lead. I applaud you. I wish I could have been there with you. But I couldn't possibly start putting on trades at the end of the day with the idea that my computer was just going to freeze up on me again and something could have went horribly wrong. And here's another ironic point. At the end of the day, if I would have put a trade on and then my computer would have froze, that would have been the greatest thing in the world because asshole that I am, I'm shorting UVXY. It goes down 20 cents, I'm out. So if I would have shorted UVXY and then the computer would have froze, I would have made 4 points. Congratulations to me. But that wouldn't have happened. Because if I would have put a lot of trades on at the end of the day, then the computer would have froze, and next thing you know, the whole world would have exploded. Oh, man. So, one of you guys out there, and again, if you think for a second, you doomsday guys and your market's never going to go down, and you send me emails how on days like this,
what about the market not going down now, asshole? What about the market not going down now?
Market's been going up 7 years. I can still take credit that I can say the market never goes down. What are we at, 110 now? The Qs are off 5 points after a 7-year rally. And you know what? It's all about what we're doing tomorrow anyway, right? Because we're liquid. You understand? But I want to make one thing perfectly clear. Today's lows are the lows of the year. So now, if I'm wrong, you can hold me to it. 108.12 will be the low of the year. Now, I'm saying that because I believe it. But if I'm wrong, I'm going to act on it. You understand what that means? So when they do get to 108.12 again, if they do, I'm going to say, wow, I'm surprised that this is happening. Let me hit the F1 key and sell my QQQ. But until that day, I'm staying long forever. I believe that today's lows were the lows of the year. That's right. Google earnings, Amazon earnings, Apple earnings, I don't give a fuck. Today's lows of the year. And if I'm wrong, so be it. Because I will switch sides like nobody's business. Guess what? We were long Fitbit. I hate that stock. I hate the company. I hate the product. I hate everything about it. But the thing's been a buy every day since I made that last video. There's been a great opportunity to buy that stock, just like GoPro, just like Joy Global, and POT, and ATI, and KMI, and all the shitty stocks that we've been trading, Solar City. I don't know whether or not these stocks are going to come back and have miracle returns in 2016. I have no idea. But why do you need, and again, I'm making this prediction of 108.12 on the QQQ for the lows of the day. Who gives a shit? You think I'm just going to ignore the fact? I mean, if we gap down below it one day, that's it. It's over, Johnny. I'm going to get out of whatever the price is. I don't care. But making predictions, what do you need predictions for? What? You don't need to make... When you got 17 reversals intraday that work, you don't need to predict what's going to happen. You don't need to act on what you think's going to happen tomorrow because there's so much action during the day, and all you need to do is just don't be stupid about it. See, what I was doing early in the day, I was buying 1,000 shares of stuff. 1,000 this, 1,000 that, 1,000 that. And I would make 11 cents and get out, and the thing would go up 3 points. If I had just bought my bundle of shitty-ass stocks, 200 shares each, and just shut the computer off, believing that I thought that was picking a bottom, which we were really at the bottom at that, 108.12, 108.40. And then again, we did pull back to 108.50 on the QQQ at one point, right at like 240, 250. So it looked like we were rolling back over. I think we even went to 108.38 or something shit like that. Bottom line is, I don't need to know anything about economic data, China, SARS, anything. Because the same setup that worked on the GoPro and the Fitbit and the Joy Global and the US Steel and the Rig and the Solar City and the ATI and the Potash, it's all the same setup. So if you know how to find it, where to look for it, and just have a little confidence, because it really comes down to having confidence. I didn't even trade the GoPro. When the market was crashing, I saw GoPro trying to go green and breaking over VWAP. I was like, that stock sucks. Fuck that. Meanwhile, it was the first one of the day that worked out. I mentioned it. I said, listen, I'm not trading the stock. I'm waiting for this market to really take a bloodbath. I want to see what happens. Give me 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock to see if their selling starts to get going. So I wasn't looking to buy GoPro this morning. Next thing you know, it was the first one to reverse. FEYE. After GoPro reverse, I'm like, well, if that piece of shit can go, I'm going to get myself some FEYE. And again, what am I doing? I'm taking a 12-cent profit. I'm an eighth trader. That's what I do. I buy 1,000 shares, I take an eighth, and I'm happy. Meanwhile, dumbest thing in the world. All right. Happy New Year. Hopefully all of your guys are safe. There's so much more to life than this. And like I was about to say, if you guys out there, you're doomsdayers and you're posting shit on my videos about this, that, and the other thing, I'm a scam artist, I don't know what I'm talking about, you got nothing on me, okay? The Jets, nothing you could do could upset me any more than what I just went through for 17 weeks leading up to the worst loss that we've had probably since the AFC Championship game against Pittsburgh. And we don't get many opportunities like that. And this was the best team I've seen. I'm going to say the best team I've seen in my life. They came together, everything was clicking, and they still figured out a way to blow it. So you think you get under my skin? Nah. Having to console my son who's literally crying and screaming, the pain, the anguish, tears coming down his throat. So you got nothing on me. Stock market could suck my balls. What I went through yesterday watching that Jets game with my son, you can't do anything to match that. Nothing. Except possibly getting to the Super Bowl and losing by a last-minute field goal. I mean, that's the only thing I could compare to what I just went through. And I know sports shouldn't be that influential or emotionally draining on me, but it is. Okay? I'll admit it. I'm one of them nut job fans. Every freaking play, I'm cringing, freaking out. So, guys, man, you gotta start emailing me and giving me a call, because today was one of those days where your entire year could have been made. Depending on how aggressive you wanted to be today, I gave 17 ideas that worked. 17. And what's worse is that I did freaking 2 of them. I mean, what a disaster. What a disaster. This is the kind of day that me knowing that some of the guys in the room made some money is sort of saving my life. It's saving my sanity. And if you want to believe that or not, fuck off. All right?
Oh yeah, he's just out for everybody else.
You understand? There's a concept there. You understand? Because if you're paying and I'm making you money, that's what I do. So I don't need to trade. You understand? I don't need. I love to help other people. So who gives a shit, right? Call me, email me, come see for yourself. This is it, 2016, man. I'm giving this maybe 420 more days. I'm giving this maybe till, I was planning on retiring 10 years ago on January 20th of 2017. That was my day. So it's coming. Whether or not I jump ship or not, I don't know. All right.